Hello everyone, Dr. Hassan Toyed here. Guys, I'm starting this this sequence of book summaries. I will summarize one of the best books ever written and will upload those videos or will go live stream so you guys can learn a lot. Reading one book will make you something, it can change your life. And it is said that people who read books all the time, they are the most successful people. The difference between successful and unsuccessful people, one of the most important differences is reading books. In fact in fact Les Brown, in one of his books, says that he has been reading at least for 1 hour each day for the last 40 plus years. There is not a single day in his life where he hasn't read a book, and that's why he's successful. So, the more books you read, the more successful you become. So, that's why we are starting this series of book summaries. Today, the first book summary we will talk about is one of the best books ever written and one of my favorite books, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey, the greatest writer in my opinion, my favorite. So this book was written in late 1980s, and Stephen Covey wrote this book with tremendous wisdom and dedication. And if you see those 7 habits, you will really be motivated to change your life and be successful. So what are those 7 habits? And not waste your time. This video is actually to save your time so that you don't have to spend a lot of time reading that book. Although I recommend highly that you should buy that book and read it. But if you don't have time, you can rely on this summary and you can still learn a lot. But remember, this will not cover everything from the book. That's why you will always have to buy the book, and I always recommend that you buy the book. So what is the first habit out of the 7 habits of the highly effective people according to the great Stephen Covey? The first habit is be proactive. Be proactive. Stephen Covey defines that there are two kinds of people. There are two kinds of people in this world: reactive and proactive. Reactive people are who blame everyone around them. If something goes wrong, they, instead of responding, they react to it. If somebody talks to them in a harsh manner, they will react. If something wrong happens to them, they will react immediately. They will get upset, they will get disappointed, they will get angry. But successful people are those who are proactive, who take absolute responsibility of their lives. They understand that whatever is happening in my life is because of me. I'm responsible 100% of whatever is happening in my life. So, be proactive actually means be 100% responsible. Take the responsibility of your life. Take the absolute responsibility of your life. Take 100% responsibility of your life. I always say to myself that take 1000% responsibility of your life. Anything that is happening to me in my life is because of me, and I am responsible. And anything that has happened to me is because I'm 1000% responsible for this thing. I always say this, and I learned from this book. So I want all of you to remember this. The first habit is be proactive, like successful people are, that take absolute responsibility of your life. Now, the second habit is begin with the end in mind. Begin with the end in mind. So, what is begin with the end in mind? That never start something without having it finished. Like the great philosopher Jim Rohn used to say. He used to say that never start a thing without having it finished. What do you mean by that? Or what did he mean by that? It means that always finish it in your mind first. That means you should be able to see the end. You should know what your end result is. What are you going to accomplish? Absolute clarity of your goal and your dream, your target should be in your mind all the time. Don't start until you have the end in your mind. You should know what journey are you going to go to. Remember the famous story Alice in Wonderland, where Alice says, which path should I take? And the cat who is sitting there asks, Where do you want to go? Alice says, I don't know. The cat says, then it doesn't matter which path you take. Doesn't matter which path you take. So if you have not decided where you want to go, any road will take you there. So always decide the end result. Have a picture in your mind what you want to accomplish. If you want to lose weight, picture your lost weight or the physique you will get after you lose weight, or write it down so that you have it in front of you. If it's a financial goal, write it in front of you. If it's a marriage goal, if it's a relationship goal, write in front of you. If it's an educational career goal, write it down in front of you and picture it so that you know what is the end. This is the second habit, that successful people begin with the end in mind. They don't just begin and they don't know where to go. They begin with the end in mind. The third thing is put first thing first. Put first things first. What does that mean? That means they know how to prioritize. They know how to prioritize. You should know how to prioritize your life. You should know the priorities. You should know what is the bigger task, what is the smaller task. And if something is more important, then that is your first task. You should do something that is more important to you. So the successful people, the third habit they have is they prioritize their life. They put first things first. The most important task they have, they always do that first, and then they do the second most important task, then the third important task. And how do you, by the way, recognize what is more important, what is not? So look at the consequences. As the great Brian Tracy says, look at the consequences. If an action has more consequences or greater consequences, that should be your first priority. If it has less consequences, it will be your lesser priority. So that's how, look at the consequences. If something is something needs something has, I mean, any action you take will have greater impact on your life, will have greater consequence, that should be your first priority. If not taking that action will have the greatest impact on your life, will have the greatest or the worst consequences in your life, that should be your first priority. So look at the consequences, think about it, and and then prioritize. These are the three habits. These are the first three habits. So the first habit was be proactive. The second habit was begin with the end in mind. The third habit was put first thing first. And then the fourth habit, my favorite habit is think win-win. Guys, this is a very important habit of successful people. Unsuccessful people cannot think win-win. They think win and lose. They think that if I win, the other person has to lose. If you lose, then only I will win. If I have to win, I have to make sure that you lose. This is the philosophy of unsuccessful people. Successful people, on the other hand, are those people who know that we all can win. We all can achieve, we all can win. My victory does not take anything away from you. Your victory does not take anything away from me. Your achievement does not deprive me of my achievements. My achievement does not deprive you of your achievement. You know why? Because this is the world of abundance. We don't have scarcity. This world does not have the scarcity of opportunities and success. This world has abundance of opportunities and abundance of success. There is no shortage of success. Success is in abundance. This is the matter we have in our mind. If we have in our mind, then we are successful people. This is what Stephen Covey says, that successful people, they understand that win philosophy is the main key to success. Because now imagine, if I think that if you lose and I win, only then I will win, then how will I be a good person? How will I be able to help others? I will not be able to help others. And if I don't help others, do you think anyone will help me? No, nobody will help me. We need each other. We need each other's help. So remember that think win-win, and thinking win-win is not that easy job. Initially you will still have that old habit, old habitual patterns that we all learn, that if somebody wins you will lose. That will not let us do the right thing. But remember, whenever you think that way, just think about it. What is the right thing to do? What is the right thing to do? The right thing to do is to help this person. And if I help this person, the divine forces in the nature, they will help me and I will become more successful. And this is the reality. That's why successful people are where they are today. Now, the fifth habit is seek first to understand and then be understood. We all have this tragic habit of putting our point across first. Putting our point across first. We want to say something rather than listening. We are very bad listeners. So we have to understand the importance of listening. We need to understand each other. We need to understand the other person. We need to listen to that person. Guys, when somebody comes for any suggestion, sometimes they just come to us to just say something so that somebody can listen to them. And what we do is we start giving them suggestions. No, we are not supposed to give them suggestions at that time. They want somebody to listen to them. Just listen to them, acknowledge, just listen. Yes, I'm listening. That's it. And you don't listen with ears. What? Yes, you don't listen with ears. You listen with heart. You listen with your heart. Feel it, what the other person is saying. And you will see the relationships will strengthen, your relationships will be stronger, your life will be better, and you will become more and more successful. Imagine if you listen to somebody who really came to talk with you, how good, how helpful he will be in your life. And another thing is, as a businessman, if you just want people to understand to you and you don't want the customer to put his point across, and you are not willing to listen to the customer, how can you be a successful businessman? How can you be a successful professional? If you're a doctor, you don't listen to your patient. If you're a psychologist or a psychiatrist and you don't listen to your patient, how are you going to be a successful psychiatrist or psychologist? Does it make sense? That be patient, learn the art of listening. And then the sixth habit is synergize. Stephen Covey says that this is actually the teamwork. The successful people, they help each other, that's for sure, but they synergize with each other. They make a team. They know that nobody can be successful in this world alone. I cannot be successful alone. Whatever I have achieved, I have not achieved alone. We all need each other. So successful people know this, that we all need each other. Whatever I have achieved in my life is not because of me, because there were other people in my life. Other people will help you. If, for example, you know, you are an employee and you need help, you will see that you will need other employees. If you are a businessman, you will need other employees. You cannot do everything alone. This is what I want you to understand. And this is what the sixth habit is. And then the last habit, the seventh habit is sharpen the saw. The successful people believe in the principle of Kaizen, the continuous improvement, the philosophy of self-improvement. They keep improving themselves. They keep learning. They attend classes, they take courses, they attend seminars, they attend training sessions, they learn and learn and learn, and they keep getting better and better and better. And they get plenty of rest as well. They get plenty of rest as well. They actually understand the importance of personal development. They develop themselves. They develop themselves. They develop themselves. So these are the seven habits. These are the seven habits. I'll repeat again. Habit number one is be proactive. That means take absolute responsibility of your life. Number two is begin with the end in mind. You have to have a clarity. You have to have the clarity of the future you want in your life. Then prioritize. That means number three, put first things first. Then think win-win. That never ever think win and lose. Always think that if I win, the other person will win. If other person will win, I will win. And we all need to win together. If you have this philosophy, you will be successful. That will finish the jealousy forever. You will have no envy and no jealousy in your life. And then the next thing is seek first to understand and then be understood. That means be a good listener, be a great listener, produce empathy in yourself, put yourself in other person's shoe. And then synergize the teamwork. Do the teamwork, don't do alone. And then sharpen the saw. Sharpen the saw. That means improve yourself, keep learning and learning and getting better and better and better. So this is what the list of 7 habits is. So remember this and watch this video again so that you can learn the whole video. You can learn the whole book, and there are so many great things still hiding in that book. So I suggest buy the book and enjoy the fruits of that book, The 7 Habits of the Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. Thank you.